Nancy Drew is an American television series based on the fictional character of Nancy Drew, a teenage amateur detective who has appeared in many mystery books, novels, and even a video game. Nancy Drew is a 19-year-old girl who lives in the small town of Horseshoe Bay, Maine, and works in a diner as a waitress. She has just lost her mom and is estranged from her father. She has been interested in solving mysteries and being a detective since she was a little girl, and now, with a small circle of her friends, tries to solve murders and supernatural mysteries. The main characters of the show are Nick, Nancy's boyfriend, who works as a mechanic and had spent 2 years in prison for manslaughter. Bess is a British girl who has come to Horseshoe Bay in search of his original family, which is one of the richest and most respected families in the town. Ace, whose father used to be a police officer, and George, the manager of the restaurant, who has 2 little sisters and an alcoholic mother. The story begins when Tiffany Hudson, the wife of the local businessman Ryan Hudson, is murdered outside of the restaurant. The local police suspect Nancy and her friends and bring them for questioning. When the police chief tries to place the blame on Nancy, whom he's despised for years, she decides to solve the case to clear her name. While investigating Tiffany's death, the crew discovers a potential connection between this crime and Lucy Sable's murder, a girl who was killed 19 years ago but whose murder was never solved. Therefore, Nancy vows to solve both murders, which sets her off on a dangerous path. The first phase of her investigation starts with doubting her friends one by one, beginning with her boyfriend, who is the first suspect. It turns out he was the last person who Tiffany called before she was killed. This is also a suspect in Nancy's eyes for possessing Tiffany's wedding ring. George has had an affair with Ryan Hudson, Tiffany's husband, and last but not least in the list of murder suspects are the Hudson family, especially Ryan, who turns out to be the main suspect in Lucy Sable's death as well. After discovering that her friends are actually innocent, Nancy, who is haunted by Lucy's ghost, is convinced that Tiffany and Lucy's death are connected. Lucy's ghost encourages Nancy to gather a lot of evidence that points at her father as the killer. Karen, Nancy's mom's best friend who works for the local police, finds this evidence and arrests Nancy's father. Trying to clear her father's name, Nancy goes to extreme lengths to contact with supernatural spirits, and in the meantime, she loses her newly found boyfriend and discovers a shocking mystery about her own life. Turns out that Lucy's death wasn't a murder at all, but a suicide. She killed herself to be free of the pressure and judgment of townspeople, especially Hudson's family, who didn't want her near their son. But the truth is that she was pregnant with Ryan Hudson's child, and right before killing herself, she gave birth to a little girl whom she entrusted to Carson and Kate Drew. Yes, the shocking truth is this: Nancy is Lucy Sable and Ryan Hudson's daughter. Of course, Tiffany Hudson's murder mystery is also solved in the meantime, and it turns out that she was killed by mistake by Lucy's brother. He believed that Ryan, Lucy's boyfriend at the time, was responsible for her death and wanted to take revenge, but in the course of the events, the poisoned salad that was meant for Ryan was brought to Tiffany. Season 1 ends with Nancy and her friends being threatened to be murdered by a mysterious supernatural creature in brutal manners. Stay tuned for more videos. Take care.